I should point out one factual issue before writing the script. There is no recognized Monticello Thomas Lincoln penny variety in standard U.S. numismatics. Monticello is associated with the reverse of the Jefferson nickel, while the 2016 D Lincoln cent features Abraham Lincoln and the Union Shield reverse. Also, there is no documented 2016 D Lincoln cent known to have sold for $765,000. If you're creating an entertainment-style YouTube script and want a dramatic narrative built around a hypothetical ultra-rare 2016 D Lincoln penny with alleged error varieties and a potential value claim, here's the finished voiceover narration. Writing Law Coins World. What if the most expensive coin in your house isn't silver, gold, or even old? What if it's a penny, not a century-old relic locked inside a museum, not a treasure recovered from a shipwreck, just an ordinary-looking 2016 D Lincoln penny that may have passed through your hands dozens of times without a second glance? Right now, millions of Americans are carrying pocket change they believe is practically worthless. Pennies sit forgotten in jars, scattered across dresser tops, buried beneath car seats, and tossed into coffee cans and garages all across the country. Most people see 1 cent. Collectors see opportunity. And that difference could be the line between spending a fortune and discovering one. Imagine unknowingly handing a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars to a cashier in exchange for a cup of coffee. It sounds impossible, yet stories like that have fueled the world of coin collecting for generations. The fear isn't that rare coins don't exist. The fear is that you might already own one and never realize it. Today we're exploring one of the most talked about modern Lincoln cent mysteries, the 2016 D Lincoln penny, a coin that has generated intense discussion among collectors searching for elusive minting anomalies, unusual strike characteristics, and the possibility of a hidden jackpot hiding in plain sight. And by the end of this video, you may never look at a penny the same way again. The year was 2016. The United States Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents for circulation. Every day, massive presses struck coins at incredible speeds. Most emerged exactly as intended, but history has shown that whenever millions or billions of coins are produced, mistakes inevitably happen. And sometimes those mistakes become legendary. The Denver Mint, identified by the small D mint mark beneath the date, produced enormous quantities of Lincoln cents during 2016. To the average American, one coin looked exactly like the next. But experienced collectors know better. The smallest variation can transform an ordinary coin into an extraordinary discovery. Before we go any further, here's something worth thinking about. How many pennies do you currently own? Seriously, take a moment. There could be hundreds sitting somewhere in your home right now. A jar in the kitchen, a container in the garage, an old piggy bank that hasn't been opened in years. Most people have absolutely no idea. And that's exactly why valuable coins continue to be found decades after they were released. Now let's talk about what makes collectors so interested in certain 2016 D Lincoln cents. The answer begins with minting errors. Every coin starts with a blank metal disc known as a plankette. That plankette enters a press where immense pressure forces designs into the metal. When everything works correctly, the result is a standard coin. When something goes wrong, the result can be a collectible rarity. Among the most desirable error types are doubled dies. These occur when design elements appear duplicated due to die creation anomalies. Letters may appear doubled. Numbers may show overlapping impressions. Certain details can look distorted or unusually thick. To most people, these features appear insignificant. To a trained collector, they can represent a major discovery. Then there are die cracks. Tiny fractures can develop in the dies used to strike coins. As these cracks expand, unusual raised lines may appear on the coin's surface. Some become dramatic enough to create highly collectible varieties. There are also die chips. These occur when small pieces of a die break away. The resulting coins may display unexpected raised metal in unusual locations. Some collectors actively hunt for these characteristics. Others specialize exclusively in them. And that's where things become interesting. The rarest examples often combine multiple unusual features: a doubled design, an abnormal strike, a die crack, an unusual mint mark appearance. When several anomalies appear together, collectors begin paying very close attention. But rarity alone doesn't explain the fascination surrounding certain 2016 examples. The real intrigue comes from what many collectors call ghost coins. Ghost coins are varieties that seem to appear only occasionally. Stories circulate, rumors spread, collectors discuss them online, yet confirmed examples remain frustratingly difficult to locate. Years can pass between notable appearances. Some collectors spend thousands of hours searching without success. Others get lucky and discover one hiding inside a roll of bankrupt pennies. That's the magic of numismatics. No treasure map, no secret island, just patience, knowledge, and attention to detail. Here's a question. What if one of those rare examples is sitting in a coin jar 20 feet away from you right now? Not tomorrow, not next year, right now. That possibility is exactly what keeps collectors searching, and it explains why modern Lincoln cents continue attracting enormous attention despite their face value of just 1 cent. Now let's discuss condition, because even a rare coin isn't automatically valuable. Condition changes everything. Professional grading services evaluate coins using strict standards: surface preservation, luster, strike quality, overall appearance. The highest grades are incredibly difficult to achieve. Tiny marks invisible to casual observers can dramatically impact the coin's value. As a result, top-grade examples often become the most sought-after coins in the marketplace. Imagine two identical error coins. One spent years circulating through cash registers and vending machines. The other remained untouched from the day it left the mint. Which one do you think collectors will chase? The answer is obvious. Condition amplifies rarity, and when extreme rarity meets exceptional condition, extraordinary prices can follow. Now for a quick reality check. Have you ever looked closely at the pennies in your pocket? Most people don't. They spend them without thinking. In fact, if pennies could talk, they'd probably be offended by how little attention they receive. Yet every year, collectors uncover coins worth hundreds or thousands of dollars because they decided to take a closer look. Not because they were lucky, because they were paying attention. That distinction matters. Attention creates opportunity, and nowhere is that more obvious than in the world of rare coin discoveries. As interest in modern era coins has grown, demand has increased dramatically. Collectors who once focused exclusively on 19th century coins are now examining modern issues with equal enthusiasm. Auction houses have noticed. Dealers have noticed. Investors have noticed. The market has evolved. Modern rarities are no longer ignored. They're actively pursued. And that growing attention has created urgency. Because every year, more people learn what to search for. Every year, more rare varieties are identified. Every year, more collectors enter the market. The easiest discoveries rarely remain easy forever. That brings us to the topic everyone wants to hear about: value. Speculation surrounding extraordinary examples has fueled discussions about six-figure prices and beyond. The figure that captures the imagination most is $765,000, a number so large that it sounds unbelievable when attached to a penny. And yet history teaches us something important. The most valuable coins are not always the oldest. They are often the rarest, the most unusual, the most desirable, the most fiercely contested. When multiple determined collectors compete for a unique coin, traditional expectations can disappear. Price becomes a reflection of scarcity, of prestige, of opportunity, of ownership. That's why the rarest coins often achieve results nobody predicted. Because once rarity becomes undeniable, competition takes over. Collectors understand something that casual observers often miss. There will always be more money. There will never be more ultra-rare coins. And that reality drives markets. Imagine discovering a previously overlooked variety. Imagine receiving professional authentication. Imagine learning that your 1-cent coin belongs to an elite group of surviving examples. That's the dream that keeps collectors searching. Not because it happens every day, because it only needs to happen once. The next great discovery could emerge from a forgotten penny roll, an inherited collection, a garage sale purchase, a coin jar untouched for years. Every famous coin discovery began with someone deciding to look closer. Which is why this story matters. The real lesson isn't about the single penny, it's about awareness. Most opportunities in life hide in plain sight. Most people overlook them, Collectors train themselves to notice what others ignore. That mindset doesn't just apply to coins. It applies to wealth, to investing, to opportunity itself. The difference between finding treasure and missing it often comes down to attention. So before you spend another penny, inspect it. Check the date. Look at the mint mark. Examine the details. Study the surfaces, because the next remarkable discovery may already be sitting in your home waiting to be recognized. And if the market for rare Lincoln cents continues heating up, those opportunities may become harder and harder to find. The search is happening right now. Collectors across America are examining rolls, jars, boxes, and collections. Some will find nothing, others will uncover something extraordinary. The only guarantee is that coins never examined can never be discovered, and that's why the hunt continues. But here's where things get even more interesting. The next coin we're investigating may be even rarer than the 2016 Lincoln cent, a modern U.S. coin linked to a minting anomaly so unusual that many collectors have never seen one in person. A coin whose appearance at auction can send shockwaves through the collecting community, and if the reports surrounding its scarcity are accurate, its future value could surprise even seasoned numismatists. You won't want to miss that story, because somewhere tonight, another fortune may be hiding in someone's pocket change. What if I told you that a single penny, something most people toss into a cup holder, leave on a kitchen counter, or spend without a second thought, could potentially be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Not a gold coin, not a centuries-old treasure, a modern Lincoln penny that looks almost identical to millions of others still circulating across America today. Right now, someone is emptying their pockets at a gas station, someone is dropping spare change into a tip jar, and someone, somewhere, may be unknowingly spending a coin that collectors have been desperately searching for. The question is simple: could that coin already be sitting in your home? This is the story of the 2018 mint-marked Monticello Thomas Lincoln penny, a coin surrounded by mystery, speculation, rare minting anomalies, and a level of collector interest that has transformed ordinary pocket change into a potential fortune. More importantly, it's a reminder that hidden wealth doesn't always arrive wrapped in gold. Sometimes, it arrives disguised as a single cent. Most people see a penny and think one thing: insignificant. Collectors see something completely different. They see history, rarity, and opportunity. The spender sees 1 cent, the collector sees possibility, and that difference in perspective has created some of the most incredible discoveries in modern numismatic history. Now, before you dismiss this as another exaggerated coin story, consider this: the rarest modern-era coins have repeatedly shattered expectations at auction. Coins once worth a single cent have sold for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and in extraordinary circumstances, even more. The reason is simple: collectors are not buying metal, they are buying rarity. And rarity is where the 2018 mint-marked Monticello Thomas Lincoln penny enters the conversation. At first glance, the coin appears ordinary. Abraham Lincoln's familiar portrait sits on the obverse. The mint mark appears exactly where it should. The date reads 2018. Nothing seems unusual, but hidden within a tiny number of examples are specific minting anomalies that have fueled intense interest among advanced collectors. Some specimens reportedly display unusual strike characteristics around the mint mark itself. Others show evidence of double design elements, subtle die distortions, or dramatic strike irregularities that occurred during production. For the average person, these details are nearly invisible. For collectors, they can mean everything. Imagine two identical-looking pennies resting side by side. One is worth a cent, the other could be worth thousands. That's the reality of rare coin collecting. And here's where things become even more fascinating. Unlike classic rare coins that have been documented for generations, some modern eras exist in a strange category collectors often call ghost coins. Ghost coins are pieces that appear so infrequently that many collectors have heard stories about them but have never actually seen one in person. They exist almost like legends. Auction appearances are scarce, certified examples are limited, public photographs are difficult to find, and every time one surfaces, excitement spreads through collector communities like wildfire. Why? Because scarcity creates demand. The fewer examples that exist, the more intense the competition becomes when one finally reaches the market. Take a moment and think about that. What if a coin sitting unnoticed inside an old coffee can in your garage turned out to be one of the few surviving examples of an extremely rare minting anomaly? What if you've already handled it dozens of times without realizing it? In fact, here's something worth doing right now. If you have a jar of pennies nearby, pause mentally for a second and think about it. How many coins have accumulated in your house over the years? Hundreds? Thousands? Most people have no idea. Yet hidden among those coins could be dates and varieties that collectors actively seek every single day. The irony is almost humorous. People spend thousands of dollars searching for rare coins while ignoring the pile of change already sitting in their own homes. That's like searching for treasure while standing on top of a treasure chest. Now let's dive deeper into why certain 2018 examples have attracted such attention. Every coin begins with a die. Dies are the hardened steel tools used to strike designs onto blank blank case. When something goes wrong during this process, unusual features can appear. A double die can create overlapping design elements. A misaligned strike can distort details. Die cracks can create raised lines across the surface. Die chips can leave unexpected lumps or protrusions. Off-center strikes can dramatically alter the appearance of a coin. And in extremely rare situations, multiple errors can occur simultaneously. These combinations are often what drive collectors into bidding wars, because the market isn't merely looking for old coins, it's looking for unique coins, one-of-a-kind stories, one-of-a-kind mistakes, one-of-a-kind opportunities. For years, collectors focused primarily on classic rarities from the 19th and early 20th centuries. But something changed. The modern era market exploded. Collectors began realizing that contemporary coins could be just as fascinating and sometimes far rarer than their older counterparts. Suddenly, pennies from recent years became legitimate targets for serious investors and advanced numismatists. And when attention shifts toward a particular variety, prices can move rapidly. This brings us to one of the most important factors in determining value: condition. Not all rare coins are valuable. Not all valuable coins are rare. The magic happens when rarity and condition intersect. A heavily worn example may attract interest. A pristine example can trigger competition. Professional grading services evaluate coins based on preservation, strike quality, luster, and surface condition. The highest grades often represent a tiny fraction of surviving examples, and when a rare error appears in an elite grade, the result can be astonishing. Collectors understand a simple truth: you can always find another common coin. You cannot always find another top-grade rarity. That scarcity becomes a powerful force. In some cases, it becomes explosive. Now here's a question that should capture every viewer's attention. What determines whether a coin becomes a curiosity or a life-changing discovery? The answer is visibility. Many rare coins remain hidden for years because nobody realizes what they have. Then one day, someone submits a coin for authentication. Experts examine it. The rarity is confirmed. News spreads. Collectors take notice. And suddenly, the market changes. What was once an overlooked coin becomes a headline. We've seen this pattern repeat again and again throughout numismatic history. An unknown variety emerges. The collecting community responds. Prices climb. Demand increases, and the few available examples become increasingly difficult to obtain. This is precisely why so many collectors continue searching rolls of pennies, bank boxes, estate collections, and inherited coin jars. Because every discovery starts with someone taking a closer look. And let's be honest, most people don't inspect their pennies. They barely glance at them. The average penny survives its entire existence without anyone paying attention. Until the right collector finds it. Until the right expert identifies it. Until the right auction presents it to the market. Then everything changes. Which brings us to the number that has captured imaginations across the collecting world. A potential value approaching $765,000. Now, it's important to understand what drives figures of this magnitude. Extraordinary valuations are generally tied to exceptional circumstances, ultra-rare varieties, unique error combinations, elite certified grades, intense bidder competition, historical significance, market timing. When these factors align, remarkable results become possible. Collectors understand that auction records are often driven by emotion as much as economics. To determine bidders can transform a rare coin into a six-figure event. Add national attention, limited availability, and collector prestige, and values can climb beyond what many people consider reasonable. Yet history repeatedly proves otherwise. The market rewards rarity, especially when that rarity becomes widely recognized. And that's exactly why interest in unusual 2018 Lincoln cents continues to grow. Collectors know that opportunities disappear quickly. Once a rare variety gains mainstream attention, the easiest discoveries have often already been found. The longer people wait, the harder the search becomes. That's why urgency matters, not panic, not hype, awareness. Every day, potentially valuable coins continue moving through circulation. Every day, people unknowingly spend collectibles. Every day, opportunities are lost. The difference between finding a treasure and missing one often comes down to a few seconds of attention. One glance, one inspection, one decision to look closer. And that may be the most powerful lesson in all of coin collecting. Value often hides in plain sight. The world trains us to overlook small things. Collectors train themselves to notice them. One group sees pennies, the other sees possibilities. As we close, take another look at the change in your home. Check the jars, the drawers, the old piggy banks, and the forgotten containers gathering dust in closets and garages. Examine every 2018 Lincoln cent carefully. Study the mint mark. Look for unusual doubling. Search for striking abnormalities. Pay attention to details others ignore. Because somewhere out there, another rare example may still be waiting to be discovered. And if history has taught collectors anything, it's that extraordinary finds often come from the most ordinary places. But here's the twist. The next coin we're investigating may be even more elusive. A modern American coin so rare that some collectors have spent years searching without success. A coin linked to a minting mistake that transformed pocket change into an object of obsession. And when you hear the estimated values attached to that discovery, you may never look at your spare change the same way again. Make sure you're here for the next investigation, because the next fortune might already be hiding in your pocket.